Okay, let's go ahead and get started. First of all, thank you all for being here and spending a part of your afternoon with us. We really appreciate it, and we're really excited to tell you about this really great opportunity for the fall session of the 2022 year of AlphaLab Health. And so before we get started, I'd just like to introduce the AlphaLab Health team. I'll start with myself. My name is Andy Rape, and I am the Senior Program Manager here at AlphaLab Health. I have previous experience working in startups. I worked as Director of Research at a Pittsburgh-based medical device company just prior to this, and have experience in corporate strategy as well as non-dilutive funding and other means of funding for small startups. And with that, I'd love to kick it over to Megan to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Megan Shaw. I'm the Managing Director of Life Sciences at InnovationWorks. So in that capacity, I oversee our life science portfolio, as well as AlphaLab Health. And I have a background in the diagnostic space, both with a coagulation diagnostic out of UVA and with the NIH's RADx initiative around COVID diagnostics. And prior to that, in strategy consulting and private equity. So thanks so much for joining us today.
And Maria, please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Garrity, and I'm the program coordinator for AlphaLab Health. I work really close with Andy on the operations side and, working with our startups on a day-to-day basis and helping them tie into the IW networks. I have experience in microbiology research and just finished up my master's in medical product engineering at Pitt.
Great, thank you, Megan and Maria. And so with that, we'd really love to get started talking about the wonderful opportunity of AlphaLab Health. So Maria, can you click to the next slide, please? And so AlphaLab Health is an accelerator that really wants to accelerate your time to market for products in the healthcare space. And we do this by utilizing our resources in the Pittsburgh ecosystem to really provide value-added services to companies that are ready to take the next step to get their product to market in order to impact human health in some meaningful way. So our program is tailored for the unique needs of healthcare and life sciences companies. And what I mean when I say this is that we really focus not only on core business competencies, but also triangulating how your product can fit within the complex ecosystem of healthcare economics and reimbursement providers and regulatory. As part of our programming, we provide key resources that help companies grow. This is introductions to investors, and as part of that, preparing you to make sure that you're ready to raise your next round of funding. We provide clinical access, both from an end user perspective, but also from a healthcare economics perspective. And we have a well-developed network of mentors that's been developed in InnovationWorks, nearly 30-year history of growing businesses in the Pittsburgh region. We also offer our cohort companies space in the form of free wet labs and dry labs and offices. And so we really provide you a home to help grow your business as a part of our program. And all of this is really enabled by our partnership with Allegheny Health Network. Allegheny Health Network is a subsidiary of Highmark Health, and the combined corporate structure is the second largest integrated and delivery finance network in the United States. And so what that really provides us is really unparalleled access to a large amount of data and expertise in understanding how your technology can fit into the space of hospitals and clinics. And so with that, I'd like to turn it over to Megan to talk a little bit more about how this partnership works.
Thanks, Andy. Yeah, I mean, one of the very cool things about AlphaLab Health is this partnership between AHN and IW. So starting with AHN, as Andy said, it is a subsidiary of Highmark Health, so it has both the provider and the payer side. And we are incredibly fortunate to work with this organization. It's over 18 billion in operating revenue, 28 million insured lives, and over 500,000 unique health system patients. And so from a company perspective, they bring detailed clinical access, but also administrative access and understanding where what it takes to adopt a new product or service into both the clinical setting, but also the insurance setting, how to get it covered. And so we are incredibly fortunate to work with them, and we'll show you the AlphaLab Health facility is actually based in one of the AHN facilities. So we are literally in the same space with them. We can walk upstairs, we can bounce ideas off them, and we have this very tight relationship with them. So they bring tremendous assets on that side. If we go to the next slide. So then Innovation Works on our side is a seed stage investor focused on the Southwest PA region. And we've been doing this for quite a while. So we have quite a robust pipeline of companies. So, roughly a third of our investments to date have been in the life sciences sector. And with that, we've had the opportunity to grow with some of these companies. So we have a wide variety of maturities in our portfolio. Things that have IPO'd, like Cognition Therapeutics last year, or VIT, which was acquired by Sword Health. So we have a number of very successful acquisitions and companies. We have others that are currently raising. So we're doing Series A, B, C right now. And then we have others that are very early on. And so we bring this experience across different sectors, whether it be diagnostics, devices, pharma, digital health, where we have actually worked with these companies for many years, supported them on this fundraising journey, this clinical development journey, and this commercialization journey. And that's one of the many resources that we bring to bear. So if we go to the next slide, the other thing that Innovation Works has done is we have a world-renowned software accelerator that we launched many years ago, back when accelerators were just getting started, called AlphaLab. It was one of the first ones, and we followed that up with AlphaLab Gear in the hardware space. So we have these two accelerators that we've run historically, where we know how to bring together a cohort of companies, create programming, create camaraderie, bring in that mentorship and the investor relations. And we put all of this together, the Allegheny Health Network expertise on the clinical side, on the reimbursement side, with those access to clinicians, access to the hospital, access to data, access to administrators, with the Innovation Works experience on investing and supporting companies throughout the life cycle of growth, and then the AlphaLab experience on the accelerators. And in this, we created AlphaLab Health, and we're supported by an incredible community here in Pittsburgh, with the tight relationships with the universities here, with other players in the community, such as LifeX and UPMC Enterprises. We really are working together to create an ecosystem here where life science companies can succeed, and where AlphaLab Health is one of the springboards for these companies to go forward.
Great, thank you, Megan. And so how does that partnership look as we implement it into the programming at AlphaLab Health? And so what we really want to do, as I mentioned at the very first slide, is accelerate your time to market so that your technology can have an impact on human health as quickly as possible. And our program is structured to leverage sort of best-in-class resources that Megan just went over to get you the connections and talent and advice that you need to take your product through the stages to get it to market. And this takes the form of really a tailored approach to meeting your company where it is, so that we are understanding the needs of your company and your growth, and giving you the resources you need to achieve your growth. So this programming is really structured such that we connect you with future investors and advisors on a one-to-one basis, so that we essentially match you with investors and advisors that will be a good fit with you. We also tailor our business development asset programming and development to your needs. So if you need a little bit of help in working in your financial model, we have experts that can help do that. On the other hand, if you have assets that are well developed, we don't want to waste your time going over things you already know. So we sort of are going to let you go on your own there. But the bottom line is we have access to the resources you need to get your assets to where they need to be. And the final piece of this is really leveraging our partnership with Allegheny Health Network to get companies in front of thought leaders and end users in the clinical space. So we have structured programming and structured networking that allows your companies to get in front of clinical users. In fact, part of the selection criteria is clinical buy-in from the AHN side. So we want to know that the products and companies that we're accepting have champions in the AHN system so that we can facilitate great clinical interactions with the system. Next slide, please, Maria. So in addition to the business development assets that we provide you, there are other key benefits that being a member of AlphaLab Health provides. The first is we offer an investment of up to $100,000. This is really often critical for companies that are, looking to take some money and really jumpstart their product development. As I mentioned it earlier, we do offer free wet lab and office space. These wet labs are BSL-1 equipped, and you have residents in those labs, not only for the duration of the cohort, but also for a period after that as well. So you can really sort of build a home in our facility for a significant amount of time, so that you don't have to set up and then tear down, within a couple of months. We also, as we sort of harped on a little bit, we provide really best-in-class visibility in both the payer and provider systems and how decisions are made in deciding whether to integrate new products into the clinical system. And so we really try, to work with companies to help them understand that even if their product is great for patients and improves health outcomes, they also need to understand how it fits into the payer and provider picture to really get it adopted into the system so that it can have its impact. And finally, we really provide tailored guidance on working through different types of business models from the different perspectives of who could be paying for the product. So we have experts in reimbursement, experts in clinical purchasing that can really help sort of delineate different pathways to business, to profitability of your business. Next slide, Maria. And finally, we are building a really unique space at Suburban General Hospital in Bellevue that houses our accelerator, AlphaLab Health. If you're not familiar with Bellevue, it is a suburb of Pittsburgh. It's located about 10 minutes, a little bit north of downtown. And our facility is located, it's in the heart of the neighborhood. It's a quick walk to the main street where there's a multitude of cool restaurants, good places to eat, good places to hang out. So it's a really lively environment, Bellevue itself is, but at Suburban General itself is also a lively environment. Suburban General Health is being repurposed as an innovation campus for the health and life sciences. So there are companies that have in fact graduated from AlphaLab Health that have set up permanent residence there. In addition to AlphaLab Health. So as a member of AlphaLab Health, and every day you come to the office, you'll be surrounded by people who have gone through the program, sort of already experienced and hopefully conquered some of the challenges that you're facing. And it really is creating a large, broad environment and network of help of people who are entrepreneurially minded to really help gain network effects and help really catapult companies to the next level of success. And so with that, I will turn it over to Maria to talk through a little bit about the team.
All right, so Megan, Andy, and I are here, and we've already introduced ourselves, but you can see us once again. On the AHN side, we've got Dr. Jeff Cohen and Stephen Hunter. They're the two people we'll work closely with on their side of the team. Jeff Cohen, you'll see you'll see both of them in interviews and working throughout the recruitment process for the next cohort. Jeff Cohen will sit in on monthly strategy meetings with each of our teams, and Stephen Hunter helps lead our healthcare economics seminar series and sit in on biweekly meetings. So you'll really get to know these people, and they're really wonderful sources of information and great great mentors, and they'll provide great guidance to our teams. On the IW side, we also have a wealth of resources. 3 that we've mentioned here: Ven Raju, our Chief Investment Officer. He usually works with our teams to help them prep for fundraisers and help refine their pitch decks. Kelly Benson, our VP of Human Resources and Inclusion, will help people post job descriptions to our job board and also serve as a mentor to our teams. And Terry Gluick, our Vice President of Community Development and Communications, will work with her team to help create promotional materials, to help train you for press days, and all around just anything that you need that we can help you with, they're there. Our ALH alumni, we've had 2 cohorts go through in 2020 and 2021. We've had a total of 13 companies, one of them who will be with us today, Melinda from Parcel Health. We've ranged a wide variety of therapeutics, devices, AI, digital health, you name it. We've spanned the whole spectrum of life sciences companies, but they all have something in common in that they're a fit for us, they're a fit for the AHN system, and we were excited about the problems that they were solving. Our application timeline, as you all, I'm sure, are aware, our application opened June 13th. We have set a priority application deadline of July 1. If you apply by July 1, you have the best chances of us identifying clinicians who can sit in on your interview process, validate your tech, and potentially be mentors if you're selected to join our cohort. July 22nd is the final application deadline, and then interviews will take place in August. After interviews, we've got our selection and diligence portion with a tentative start date of October 31st for when our cohort programming will kick off. So what are we looking for in your applications? As we've said, we're looking for people who are solving important problems. You know, as we've got listed here, that could be better patient outcomes, lower costs, improved patient experience, anything that it could be regional, national, international, something that's affecting specific groups, anything that you find important that, you know, you're passionate about, and it's something that, you know, fits in with our system and our targets and goals, we're happy to see that. Proof of concept exists. You know, we want to see that there is a prototype or some kind of testing has taken place to show that you've done your verification and validation of your tech. You've got to be ready to accelerate. We want you to hit the ground running when you join our program, and have a commitment to your company. This is 4 months of programming where you've got to be, you know, tied in and just prepared to absorb all of the information we can give you and take it to accelerate your company. And then, as I said, we address a broad range of areas: therapeutics, diagnostics, medical devices, HIT, AI, anything, you name it. So what makes a good application? Some of you, you know, maybe you have a website, maybe we've seen you in a pitch competition, but for a lot of you, this might be the first time we're encountering any information about your company. So it's really important to provide a clear company overview and an accurate description of the stage of your company. This is our first look at you, and we have to know everything that we possibly can to give you the best chance during our overview and selection processes. And then we also like to see thoughtful answers to what you want to get out of our program and our clinical engagement, because we've got a lot of people who are willing to help you, and we want to know how you're going to use those resources. And then most important of all is completing your application by July 22nd, which is the deadline. So how you can apply, there's a QR code here to go to our website. But you'll see this apply page, and the apply link links you to F6S, which is where our application is. And there's some information about the deadlines and when our program is set to kick off and wrap up. So then we've got some frequently asked questions here about investments, scheduling, your Pittsburgh presence. A few of these have already been addressed, but as far as investment, we do invest up to $100,000 from AIW and AHN in the form of a convertible note, and there's 2% common equity is taken for program participation. Your company must have a plan to have a presence in Southwest Pennsylvania, and you're expected to be in person for the duration of our programming, October to approximately March. And then as far as scheduling, as we've said, it's approximately 4 months. We're going to start with a healthcare economics seminar series, which our AHN team helps us lead. And then we've got 3 to 4 more months of one-on-one mentorship to get you ready to speak with investors, to fundraise, lots of strategy meetings, and anything else that we can help you with while you're staying with us. And that's the end of our slides. So now,
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm going to introduce Melinda Lee, who is one of our alumni company, the founder of one of our alumni companies, Parcel Health. And she's going to talk a little bit about her experience in AlphaLab Health.
Hi, everyone. I'm not able to start my video. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, it's not letting me start my video, but it's okay because I'm actually on an impromptu trip to Michigan to meet some partners. Hi, everyone. My name is Melinda. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Parcel Health, one of the cohort 2 companies that joined AlphaLab Health. Do I just go ahead and share my experience, Maria?
Yeah, anything that you have to share about your time in AlphaLab Health?
Yeah, I will say I was very close to not applying because I didn't think that we would fit the criteria for AlphaLab Health, and I'm really glad that we did. So if you have any hesitation at all, I definitely encourage you to apply. Even if you're, not sure or you're not confident about it, AlphaLab has a lot of experience spanning software and hardware. And my company, we work specifically in the more manufacturing space, and so it's been really awesome to kind of come to a health accelerator that also has a lot of experience in the manufacturing side. I will also say that the AlphaLab Health team, they are very clear. They're not going to, if you apply and you're not a good fit, they'll tell you early on. For us, we went through the process. It was very straightforward. There was no ghosting. There was no dragging their feet, which some of you, if you've applied to other accelerators or spoken to other investors, that might be common, but AlphaLab Health is extremely professional and very prompt and just amazing. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of, we met a lot of amazing partners through this program, a lot of mentors. Another plug for the Bellevue space is that because they are repurposing this hospital from an abandoned hospital to an innovation space, there's a lot of fun stuff going on in the Bellevue Hospital. One is that currently they're shooting a Netflix movie there. A couple of months ago, they shot another movie there. But most recently, one of the governor candidates, their political team came on a tour, and I was able to introduce our product to them. And just so happened that morning they had spoken to a group of independent pharmacists, which was a target market for us. And we were able to connect with a lot more customers just through that chance encounter of this governor candidate's political team coming by the building. There's like a bunch of other stories of these chance encounters of just being in the Bellevue neighborhood. So great opportunity.
Great, thank you, Melinda. And so we just wanted to close with that before taking any questions, because really what makes this program special is the founders that we are so privileged to work with. So we wanted to make sure that we ended on what makes this program so special and ultimately who drives the change in the healthcare ecosystem. So thank you to Melinda, and thank you all for being here, and we would love to answer any questions that you have.
Yeah, feel free to raise your hand or type it in the Q&A if you have any questions, or if Andy and Maria answered all your questions, then that's great too. I think it is important to say we do have office hours on the website. If you do have specific questions, feel free to shoot us an email or set up some time with us to talk. We are very happy to do that. Very much want to make this process as transparent as possible.
Yeah, and that goes for application questions as well. So if anything comes up while you're filling out your application, or let us know, and we're happy to provide more information or clarity there.
So we have a question coming in the chat that says, what experience does the team have in cell, gene, and tissue therapy market? Megan, do you want to take that one?
Sure. I think the key thing here is less what our specific team has and more what resources we can bring to bear. So, I think we do have some experience in that market, but I think what's interesting is what resources we can draw in from the AHN side, which is doing a lot in this space, and even the UPMC side, right? I mean, part of this is, we are backed with, we partner with AHN, we have strong ties over at UPMC as well, who's doing a lot in building, Bioforge. And so our goal would be to connect companies in the space with whoever can be of assistance on the mentor side, as well as investors that are interested in that space.
Thank you, Megan.
Andy, we've got a question in the chat. So the 2% common equity is in addition to equity associated with the investment capital. Is the funding amount mostly dictated by the startup's needs, category, or ALH enthusiasm?
So the answer to the first part of that question is yes, the 2% common equity is in addition to the typically a note that we invest in for the investment capital. We have a standard amount that we invest, that's 100,000 from both AHN and IW combined. It's 50,000 from InnovationWorks, 50,000 from Allegheny Health Network. With that being said, that 2% equity can be flexible if certain previous fundraising milestones have been achieved.
Yeah, and I think just to add, in general, our plan is to invest 100,000 in all companies. We do reserve the right to have either IW or AHN invest. So each of them invests $50,000, which is great because you can show us both as investors. And I think a lot of companies get a lot of mileage out of being able to show AHN and IW as an investor. But we do have the right to, if one or the other decided not to invest, to do that. We have not done that yet, but we do just want to put the appropriate caveat in place.
Can the investment spend on payroll?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, the investment is for you to do as you see fit, whatever is right for the company. We don't put restrictions on that. It is an investment into the company.
All right, that's all the questions I have showing up right now. Do we have any others?
Okay. Well, thank you. Oh, we have another one just popped in.
Have you assisted companies in animal model testing?
So maybe I'll take that, Andy, and then you can add on. One of the benefits of our relationship with AHN is our ties to the Allegheny Singer Research Institute, which does have an animal lab there. And so we have paired companies up, and they've gotten quotes and explored different opportunities to work with AHN for the animal testing, as well as other organizations that can help. So it's not something we are directly doing, but again, we're trying to act as a facilitator to make sure you're getting plugged into the types of organizations that can help.
All right, if we don't have any other questions, then we'll wrap up, Andy.
Sounds great. Thank you all for your time and have a wonderful day. We look forward to your applications.
Oops, we got one last one. Our sessions twice a week, more or less. So we would do educational sessions usually once a week. So when we do our healthcare economics sessions, we'll do those once a week, but we might have other meetings with our leadership team or with our team to check in throughout the week. So I would expect to be in person about 2 to 3 days a week at least during the programming. All right.
I'll say it again. Thank you all and look forward to your applications.
Bye.